Oh, you're gonna love this video, because you know what? I'm gonna be honest. The people you all know and love in FNAF are stupid. Even if they're supposed to be the good guys, okay, they're stupid, irresponsible, and honestly, sometimes just as bad as the people they're trying to stop. So today, we're gonna look at some more of the horrific things people in the series have done. And no, this isn't just William. In fact, William isn't really on this list that much, okay? So, prepare your pitchforks, and let's do it. In 10 springlock suits. While Henry may not have designed the springlock suits, he certainly let Afton create them and then allowed for their use in the restaurants, despite them being incredibly dangerous to employees, only putting them out of commission when someone got hurt, and not being proactive because they were literal death machines. You can make separate animatronics and have separate costumes, okay? That's the right move, that's the smart move, it's the safe move, because this so-called businessman thought, yeah, I'll put the safety of my employees at risk by making them wear a hot as balls suit filled with robotic parts that even with the slightest bit of water or moisture will cause those robotic parts to snap back into place. What can go wrong? We want to talk about Willy Wonka's OSHA violations, imagine FNAF's OSHA violations. Actually, you don't need to because we already made that list, okay? Go check it out. And at 9, crushed Elizabeth. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong, some specific kids make me get William's whole MO, but the fact that he made these robots, especially the fun times, specifically to kill, and then the first kid they get is his own daughter, that's some serious karma, man. But considering how horrific Baby becomes after this, thanks to Elizabeth, I feel like she may have had it coming. This girl was a lot more like her father than she should have been, in all honesty, especially when she was like, what, 3? While yes, crushing any kid would have been bad, but like your creator's daughter? Seriously. Like, why was there no blacklist for these kids? Like, hey, don't grab these. Like, you have the animatronics that can walk on their own, you have advanced AI, you have facial recognition technology, but you can't make a goddamn program that says do not kill these kids, they come from my loins. Bro, like, if you ask me, you had it coming. Like, who tells their kids not to do something and expects them to listen? Jeez. Especially when you built that robot to attract and lure kids, okay? Seriously. Honestly, this is more of a William screw up than a Baby screw up, but either way, this guy's a real dum-dum. And it ain't missing kids. With so many Fazbear locations, having kids go missing, you'd think that they'd go out of business. But maybe every parent feels like they have something to prove or something, so they risk the lives of their kids so that when all is said and done, they can go home and flex on the other parents at the weekly book club meeting saying that their kids survived a trip to Freddy Fazbear's. I don't know. It sounds like a Karen move, but no matter what the reason is, at least 9 kids have gone missing once again in the newest Fazbear location, the Pizzaplex, resulting in multiple complaints, but as we see in the opening cutscene where Freddy glitches out, still a full house. We don't exactly know what happened to these kids, however we can assume that those kids were in fact made into corpses, perhaps to restore Afton to full strength, maybe they're just being kept in a cellar, but either way, it's pretty messed up. I don't know, maybe they need like a sacrifice a month in order to recharge all the animatronics. That's something I wouldn't put past Fazbear. Either way, at least 9 kids have gone missing thanks to Vanny, as we see in the worst ending. So yeah, Vanny's pretty messed up. And it's 7, encouraging Gregory. Assuming that Glamrock Freddy is possessed by Michael, or even just Glamrock Freddy in general, because you know, the whole Michael thing hasn't been proven or disproven as of yet. Michael, as Glamrock Freddy, just straight up encourages Gregory to risk his life in order to get out of the Pizzaplex, when in all honesty, the safest thing to do would just be to keep him in either your stomach or your green room until 6 AM, okay? Especially after the door closes and he was definitely stuck. There was no need for this daycare secret escape hatch thing, okay? You could have just gone back the way you came and then everything would have been fine. You wouldn't have been suspicious since you'd have like at least appeared to listen to Vanessa, then went back to your room, and then Gregory would have been safe, like especially after you knew that there was a crazy bunny running around trying to kill him. So yeah, if Glamrock Freddy is possessed by Michael, Michael did a horrible job protecting his surrogate younger brother, okay? And if not, then Glamrock Freddy just messed the hell up. And at 6, Afton amalgam. One of the biggest plot twists in the Fazbear Frights books epilogue stories is that they end up fighting a giant trash rabbit known as the Afton amalgam. But then a mysterious black blob is revealed to be behind everything. This blob is then revealed to be controlled by Baby, or I guess by Elizabeth. Either way, at this point, it's the same goddamn thing. I'm guessing that this reveal was originally intended to happen after Security Breach was released, given the original release date of the game and the books, which would have made this so much more rewarding, but Baby was literally revealed to be controlling a version of her father, the man who got her killed by creating a robot designed to kill other kids. The man who killed her brother in that same way, who killed 5 additional kids, and who wanted to bring her brother back to life as an animatronic. She controlled a version of him and then still wanted to make him proud. Halfway through, into number 5 stayed open. Not only did Henry Emily allow for the springlock suits to be used by staff, even if it was in their contract. It shouldn't have been in their contract, it shouldn't have needed to be in their contract. But this man kept the company going after losing how many kids? His daughter, Afton's 2 kids, 5 more in 1985, and then however many kept getting slaughtered every time they reopened. By reopening over and over, Henry gave Afton a location to kill. Even when he got Afton banned from the location and tried to use facial recognition tech to keep him out, Afton made the robots, so of course he's not gonna add himself to the facial recognition, if it was even ever actually a thing to begin with. This man reopened how many times before finally biting it in FNAF 6? Seriously, before Springtrap was even a thing, they reopened like 3 times at least. Why did this man think that any of this was a good idea? In FNAF 6, he says he wants everyone to forget about the tragedies that were caused by these restaurants. Just do that by closing the restaurants in the first place, before Springtrap was created, so that we can all just live in peace. God. In a 4 security room. Now, look, okay, locking us in a security room while we're trespassing and then waiting for the cops is one thing. Doing that, saying you're calling the cops and then not calling the cops is something else. And on top of that, changing into your serial killer persona and then coming after me while I try to escape with the very clear present on the ground is another thing. But some say we can't fault Vanessa on this because she ended up losing control to Afton and that's not her fault. But you know what, actually it is. I've talked about this before. Vanessa knows that Afton is controlling her. Well, maybe not exactly, but she knows that someone else is in her head and that they don't really have good intentions. She knows she's blacking out. I mean, how can you not know that? We know that she knows all of this thanks to the CDs where she's talking to the therapist about how he could always be listening, and she just doesn't know where he could be. She knows about all of this, yet still locks us in a room where her psychotic double can then find and kill us. Bro, come on. Why would you think that that's a good idea? Just kick us out next time, especially if you're trying to resist William's influence. It's not like he's gonna make you off yourself, okay? He's gotten this far. He isn't gonna restart. Like, if he even has the ability to restart. He might not, okay? You're like his only lifeline. Getting close to the end, into number 3, burning. FNAF 6 is a pretty good game. It was something new and probably the most interactive FNAF game ever since we got to make our own pizzeria and then ended up becoming a part of the story. But the ending, while good and one of the most iconic speeches of all time, Michael letting himself go up in flames as well as the whole pizzeria is seriously dumb on his part too. I mentioned this last time and I blamed Henry for it, but also like, bro, you've seen your father come back how many times? Just as many at least as anyone else. So like, at least keep kicking for a year or 2 to actually make sure that he's dead instead of just hoping he is. You know this man is as relentless as Taco Bell after a night of binge drinking, so like, why would you just think things are gonna be fine? I wish like one person in this series would actually think something through. And you know what? Henry encouraging him to stay and then also not giving him a way out just seems like a horrible idea to me. Straight up. Like, I get that you want nobody to remember this, but unless you go out and kill the parents of the victims and literally anyone who's ever covered the story or even read about it, people are always going to remember. Okay, so just stay alive, make sure the story is over, and then you can off yourself. Jeez. Both Michael and Henry are honestly at fault for this because Michael didn't even try to get out, but it's mostly Henry in my eyes, okay? Michael just gave up. But ultimately, in at number 2, didn't call the cops. Let's look at this logically, alright? Henry knew what was going on and that Afton was doing some shady shit. Otherwise, he wouldn't have put the green wristband on Charlie, right? Well, if he knew this man was up to something and was fearing for his daughter's safety because of it, why didn't you pick up the phone and call the goddamn cops? Okay, you'd be like, hey man, so you know, William Afton is the one that's killing all the kids you're looking for? Yeah. Maybe he didn't have proof, okay? Certainly could have kept an eye on him at least, or gotten the police to actually, you know, check him out sooner rather than later, but he didn't. And instead, he did a whole load of other things that in reality did nothing to really hinder William. I mean, he did some stuff that put him out of commission for like 30 years by, you know, trapping him in a sealed room, but only 30 years. He let him get out. Dude, you go there and you make sure, hey, don't demolish this wall. We kinda need it for a reason. Can't really explain. Don't tear it down. This man could have stopped him, but instead he chose to just keep his mouth shut. And you know what they say? If you see something, say something. I mean, they say that on the Toronto Transit. I don't know if they say it anywhere else, but it's true. And finally, in at number 1, stored your daughter. We all know that Afton isn't the best dad, but it's something else to lock up your robot-possessed daughter into an animatronic testing facility, okay? That seems to be a bit too far if you ask for my humble opinion. But nevertheless, he still did it. And that's what sister location is all about. And even in that game, we are shocking baby. We are shocking his daughter, okay? William was the one who sent us as Michael down there in the first place. And then we get shoved full of Ennard bits so that they can escape after we've shocked literally all the animatronics, including his daughter. Like, did William know about that plan? Because like in FNAF 6, baby says that she's gonna make her dad proud. So like, was William's intention to send us down there so that baby could get out? And if that was the case, why did he lock her down there in the first place? And why did he make a shocker? And if she was your daughter, okay, why not just have her chill around the house? Okay, like in the books, baby is able to transform between like the baby animatronic and a human looking animatronic at will. So why not add this to the version of your daughter? Then you can have your daughter back, albeit a little more metal, and not in the cool way, but in the actually made of metal kind of way. I don't know, you're stupid. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been a Child Monroe, and I'll see you in another video, unless I get turned into an animatronic that can then look like me as well.